Hello everyone. Today I'll be showcasing my second place Prank's deck profile. I went second in a locals championship last Saturday. It was like 23 plus people approximately, and I went 3-0. I lost in the final round against the Virtual World. My matchups were Ultra Geist to Oldham, Heroes 2-0. Then I played against Shadow and Vogue Dogmatica. It was 2-1, and in the final I just lost. So let's get into the deck profile. So first off, with the monsters, we play 3 of every pranked. They are all important, of course. I wouldn't cut any. Some people they like to play this at 2. I hate that because if you don't open any pranked, you just literally can't play. So I prefer consistency. So yep. And for the hand traps, I play 3 Ash. Ash was really good. I guess Ultra Geist, if you go first, you just negate the ones that searches Multifaker. Going second against them is not that good because they have Protocol on the field, and so Ash can't negate Multifaker. So, but still, a really good card against heroes. I negate Increase, I think the name is. It's a choke point. It hurts hitting them there. And against Shadow, I try to Ash construct. So yeah, good hand trap. I decided for this tournament to play 3 Ghost Bell. I always play 2, but this time I'm like, you know what? Let me play it at 3 because it negates Nadir Servant. It negates Schism, it negates Invocation, also against heroes it negates the fusion spell that brings Malicious Bane, because if Malicious Bane hits the field with Prankins I literally have no out, except there's one card that I'll show that's my only out against Malicious Bane. If I don't draw that, then that's game. So yeah, it's a really amazing card. And this is the last hand trap I played, Diddy Crow. It didn't do much. In theory it's really good, but in the tournament I didn't see it a lot, and I sided out nearly every game because it's not that good. But still, against heroes, if they activate Dark Calling, you just banish the one that searches Dark Calling, because it's the worst fusion that they can bring against Prankids. Alter just doesn't do anything. Invoke Shadow, it might you can just hit Alistair, so it kinda hurts. But yeah, it's not that strong, so I didn't see it much. So yeah. And 3 Paralyxi. People they don't like to play this in Prankids, but honestly people love playing hand traps, and first Ash on your first summon from Prankid really hurts. Most of the time you just pass turn because you don't have any follow-up except if you have Pandemonium and a monster in hand. And this chain blocks, I love that. Actually I played against Hero and I chain blocked, he ashed this. I don't mind if he ash Paralyxi, so what. It's just an extra body on board, so it's good for chain blocking. Against Shadow Invoked, I had this in my hand. I special summoned, he brought Winda, it locked me, so I set it out. So yeah, that's it for the monsters. For the spells, 3 Pandemonium, of course, the best card of the deck. Honestly, people are really scared of this card because when they see it, sometimes they even scoop if it's late game, because they know there's a double Raigeki coming after this. Even if I don't bring the Raigeki, I bring the monster that the fusion that protects my Pancakes from destruction from battle, so it keeps me in the game. I hate about this that I can activate it only in the main phase, so now people learn to shotgun it in the standby phase with the Cosmic and Twin Twisters. So yeah, it really hurts actually, it happened a couple of times. One prank, kids pranks, it's really good for the grind game, it's a must, you can't grind without this. Like if you lost this, if he popped it, if your opponent popped it and you had no way of bringing it back, you lost the grind game. But at the same time, I don't want to draw it, I don't want to see it in my hand because it's kind of useless. So that's why I always try to send it off with the Pancake Monster. So yeah. And for the field spell, of course, 4 Pancake's place. It searches you a monster. Actually, sometimes it baits an ash. Some people they like to ash the first thing, so it baits an ash. Sometimes I actually don't open a prank in my hand, and this helps me. And also the attack manipulation is really good. It helped me get over monsters, like since it decreases monsters by 500 when I link summon. It's actually good, and it chain blocks, so yeah, it's a really good card. I wanted to play it less. And that's it for the Prankets cards. And for the other spells, I decided to play 2 Cosmic Cyclone the main, because Shadow Invoked, Eldritch and other back row decks people started to play a lot of back row decks, even Ultra Geist, so I needed some way of having back row hit in my deck, and I see Cosmic Cyclone is the best. It banishes, so that's it, you can't see it again, and it's now once per turn. I love that. I have the third one in my side deck, so 2 is enough, because if I play against heroes then this card's kinda dead. So yeah, it was amazing against Ultra Geist. I drew 2 in the standby phase. I just banished 2. I sniped 2 of his back row. He kind of scooped later. So yeah, it's really amazing. Even against Invoke Shadow, he activates Schism. I just banish Schism. He can't activate. So yeah, it's amazing. 3 Forbidden Droplet. In my previous tournaments this was amazing, but ironically this tournament it was actually really bad, except against heroes. It actually helped me win the game, because he brought Malicious Bane and I had no eye, couldn't do anything, but thankfully I drew it off Roxy's, so I'm like, well now I won. So I swarmed the field, I attacked, he's like, okay, I activated this in damage step, and game. I had enough monsters and he had only Malicious Bane on the field. So yeah, but I guess Ultra Geist, I've Protocol in the field, this is useless, so he sided it out. I guess Shadow, it was okay, negating Winda is nice. And I guess Virtual Ward doesn't do anything, you just gotta wait for the synchro that's like a Macrocosmo, so that's your only target to negate. Other than that there's nothing else you can use this for, so yeah. For the one-offs I play 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Star Fusion, and 1 Grave Digger's Trap Hole. Monster Reborn, amazing extender, it's never a brick. I love this card honestly. It helps me make Toad sometimes, so yeah. Call by the Grave, because 1 Ash stops you and you don't want to get ashed, so you need 1. If it was a 3 I would play it a 3 honestly. Instant Fusion, if you get hit by Call by the Grave, hit by Nibiru, if you have this in hand you just continue like nothing happened. It's a great extender also. It's a power card honestly for this deck. Grave Digger's Trap Hole is for Rafflesia. I never made Rafflesia honestly, because Paralyxi never resolved to bring the other Paralyxi, so I never made Rafflesia this tournament. Alright, that's it for the main deck. Let's go for the extra deck. I play the boss Access Code Talker. This tournament actually I never made him. I didn't need to, because when I swarm the field, my opponent he just scoops. So yeah, I didn't need it, this tournament, but it helped me a lot in previous tournaments. So yeah, I'll definitely keep it. I decided to play 3 Prankets Doodle Doodle Doo, and the reason is in the grind game you really need this. Sometimes your opponent forces you to use 2 in one turn. If he negates the first one with impermanence, you just go into other one, so you can get Pandemonium from the graveyard, because you can't play without Pandemonium. So at least you have 1 left in the extra deck, because if you play 2 you use both, then you have nothing in the extra deck. You rely on Pranken's Pranks to shuffle it back, but why not play it at 3? So every time I use 2, I'm like, okay, I have the third one, so for the grind game it's a must. 1 Bawa Bark. It's really, I use it mostly for the attack boost. A lot of people actually, they forget about the attack boost. It boosts 1000, and with the field spell it boosts 500, so that's 1500 extra attack. That's actually really good. And for the against Eldritch, it helps, because if you tribute this, they can't use Conquistador, because your Prankers are protected from destruction, and people actually forget that. So even Malicious Bane, he activate, nothing happens because they're protected because of this. So yeah, it's really good, but never gonna play it more than 1. And of course the best, Pancake Monster, the card that made this deck a tier 2 or 1.5-ish. I love this card, it's amazing. You never recycle it though, because you always use the Banish from Grave effect to protect your Butler. So yeah, but still, you gotta play 3, you can't play less than that. And for the fusions, 1 Butler, he's your big boy. Won me a lot of matches. Actually, even without his effect, against Invoked Shadow, he negated this with Upcalon. It was already boosted, so it was 3-5, and I was like, you know what, I'll keep it, I'll not chain to pop again. He can't get over it, it's 3-5. In my turn, I fusion summoned again, it became 4k, I just swinged and game. So yeah. So 2 of Pranken's Rocket Ride. If we have instant fusion, he's literally 1 card access code, and I actually made access code against Ultra Geist. But it was game already though. He forgot that it's time, and he thought that he had high life points, but I told him like, dude, I have high life points than you. Then oh, okay, scoop. So that's why I said in the beginning I didn't make access code, because when I made it I already won, so it was only that time. This is a really good card. It's underrated. I play it at 2 because sometimes you're forced to bring the other one. So yeah, there's nothing else to say about this. 1 Prankers Weather Washer. I made this once, this tournament against Ultra Geist. I didn't want him to use Konkiri from hand to negate my Prankers, but he had the bounce back, so he bounced this back, so it didn't matter. So yeah, but it helps me a lot if, like, let's say I play against someone that Butler doesn't do anything against him, like against Cubics, against heroes if they have Malicious Bane. There's no point in bringing Butler, so I bring this. Alright, so and in the battle phase I tribute, bring 2 Prankers, can't be destroyed by battle, so they just ended right there, and I have 2 Prankers to pop off again in my turn. So yeah, this is a really good card. For the XYZs, totally awesome, amazing card. I made it nearly every match. Whenever I have 2 dropsies, I just make it. Sometimes when I summon Toad, they're like, okay, game. So yeah, it's an Omnigate. it sets back. I love it that it sets back in my field. Sometimes I even use it like they activate lightning storm, okay, I'll negate, set it back on my field, and sometimes I actually use it. So yeah, one Abyss Dweller, never made it. I actually will take it out. I'll put the link for the Ronin roster, because it's good for boost, attack boost, and I wish actually I guess I wish it was I had it my extra deck and instead of this, because I never made this, because I usually do make this with Paralyxi, sometimes with Roxy's, but I didn't need to, so actually I'll take this out. So yeah, more of Legia for the Paralyxi. Let's go for the side deck. I played one Prankatops. In theory, like against combo decks, I can just swing against one of his monsters, then tribute and pop the other, or against back row decks. People stop playing this card, so it's like just a surprise that, oh, see, Prankatops for going second, it's good. I only saw it once against Virtual World, and it was a simplified game state. He bricked and me, I couldn't play. He had Imperial Order, I couldn't play, and so I had this special summon and attacked. Then I made a misplay. I tributed this early when he activated the trap, so that made me lose the game. If I waited for the synchro, because the synchro doesn't have any protection, so I would have tributed, destroy the synchro. Because if the synchro is on the field, I can't play, because all my prank kids, they activate the graveyard, so if they go banished, they don't work, so I literally can't play. So yeah. 3-draw Lockbird. I sided it against heroes, against Shadow Invoked, but I never drew it. But in theory, it's really good. It helps against a lot of matchups, against any Dogmatica or Shadow variants, and people nowadays, they love playing Shadow Invoked, and even heroes. We have like 3-4 hero players in our locals, so this stops heroes, even Dragon Links. So yeah, I'll not cut it. So yeah. 3 artifact Lancia. Again, actually I drew it once against Virtual World. It stopped him for a turn, but he had some judgment, so he was waiting for my Pandemonium. When I activated, he judgmented that, so I couldn't play. So it didn't help me much, but I sided it against Invoke Shadow. Of course, it's really helpful, but again, I never drew it, so yeah, but still a really good card. 3 Evenly Matched. Obviously an amazing card. People forgot about this card because they started playing Lightning Storm, but the fact is, Invoke Shadow, they don't play any kind of negations, so when they make their board, they bring Winda, you just slam this, and all of their boards are just gone, so they might just leave Winda, and if you have Impermanence or Forbidden Droplet, you just negate Winda and boom, just make your board. So against Ultra Giants or any back row, actually even against heroes, because again they don't have any kind of negations, so it's an amazing card. Again, I never drew it. I saw it only once against the Shadow Invoked. I activated this. He changed Lancia. I'm like, okay, sure, interesting. I changed Cosmic, and he changed Shadow Fusion to bring Winda, so it didn't matter honestly. But still, it's a really amazing card. And 3 Solemn Judgment. If I go first, I'll definitely side this in, except if I'm going into time, because people, when they side against me, their main target is my Pandemonium, so they side back row hate, like Cosmic or Twin Twisters or Lightning Storm, even Feather Duster, and this is the card to negate that. So whenever especially they try to use it in the standby phase, and I can't change Pandemonium, so if I have this I'll just negate it. So yeah, it's an amazing card, it's a must. And one of Cosmic, the third one, so yeah, Siderton against the Shadow and the Ultrageist, and one Happy Feather Duster. I saw it only once against the Ultrageist match, and he had the trap that negates any, if there are two cards on the field that can be destroyed by card effect, it negates it. So so it fizzled, so I couldn't use it, but yeah, still an amazing card. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile, and good luck guys.